Oh, welcome to our movie class. Today is a total improvisation. We just decided what kind of movie we're going to discuss. And it's Alien, and old one from 1979. I just found the information about it on IMDb. So, where to start? From the plot, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the actress, from the director. Ridley Scott is kind of famous, right? What he filmed despite this Alien saga?
I don't normally track the actual people. I know he's famous, but I'm not sure what movies he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Gladiator.
Right, good one.
Blade Runner.
Wow.
many, a lot, and he's working a lot lately.
Good. And the protagonist is a woman, right? Sigourney Weaver. As far as I understand, she is famous because of this movie, right?
Mm.
It's where she got her start, yeah.
Does she have a lot of different movies or only Aliens?
Yes.
She did one called Copycat that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I never watched it.
Serial killer movie. She was in Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
A minor part.
Mm-hmm.
She was a scientist that died under the tree of life or something like that.
He also was in Ghostbusters.
Oh, she was in the Ghostbusters movie. Yeah.
Well, I'm asking why, because Sigourney Weaver is always, alien for me. Because when I was young, there was a lot of posters with her and Alien. It was a very famous movie, and it was, I don't know, pretty fresh, pretty vivid. We all were fans of this movie, and each time when I see Sigourney Weaver, I immediately recall Aliens, nothing else.
She was famous for being one of the first female kick-ass actresses.
Mm-hmm.
Tough, fearless. She was
like
she
Wonder
was a
Woman.
role model.
Like Wonder Woman.
Like Wonder Woman, yeah.
So, Gerard, did you have this poster from Alien?
I have the movie on Blu-ray disc. I bought it in DVD, now Blu-ray disc. And this year, a few months ago, it was released a sequel named Alien Covenant. Mm-hmm. I haven't watched it yet, but I think I'll buy it next month. Next month will be released.
I see.
Yeah, Prometheus and Covenant, not too good.
Mm-hmm.
We have a rule, right? That sequel usually are worse than the original.
Not always, but though.
Not always, right? We have some happy exceptions, but usually it's how we call it, rule of thumb, right?
Yeah.
When
these other two are prequels, like the Star Wars prequels. They're before the Alien movies. Yeah.
Okay. So can we recall the story? What happened in the movie? Gerard, can you?
Yes, there is a spaceship that is traveling in space. Its name is Nostromo, and the spaceship receives a distress signal from a planet. The astronauts, some of the crew go to this planet, and they see an old spaceship, extraterrestrial spaceship. They can see that something bad happened to them because they are all dead. They go in a place where there is many eggs, and one of the eggs attack one of the crew members, and it lies. I think it stuck in his chest, and they bring him to the spaceship and try to do some surgery, but this this alien, this small alien, grows inside the body of the guy and grows like a monster. And this monster is hunting all the members of the crew.
Mm-hmm. And am I right that we have seen some exoskeleton in this movie for some?
No, that's the second part in Aliens.
Second part. Okay. I just recalled when you said that the same actress and the same director of same actress played in Avatar. I just recall that in Avatar they have these exoskeletons and in Aliens too. So it's a common line. Okay. So no, where to start? So why this? So this aliens is kind of different race, right? Nothing common with human.
It's like a parasite. Parasite. I think we could call it parasite.
Mm-hmm. Why? Because they live in another organism, another body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we say parasites live inside of what we call a host creature.
Mm-hmm.
And they live and feed off of the host. So, and then eventually it's big enough that it needs to get out. So the famous chestbuster scene. It's interesting to note, I read about the movie production details. When they filmed the scene where the monster bursts out of his chest, the actors did not know that was going to happen. Ridley Scott kept it a secret. So when this guy's doing this, everyone's going, what's going on? What's going on? They hold him down, and suddenly this thing bursts out of his chest. They were all shocked because they didn't know that was what was going to happen. So those were real reactions like, what?
What a good actors you are.
Yeah. Okay.
But, I recalled another form of parasites when it's some system when for instance mushrooms and trees they do the system when all are beneficiaries of the systems. How we call it?
I forgot the name.
Biogenosis, something like this.
I know the word in Spanish, so I'm going to translate. It's the same. Some symbiosis.
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 Yeah. In Spanish is almost the same.
So maybe it's not parasite, maybe it's symbiosis.
No, because it's not good for the host. In this case, it's not good. The host doesn't get any benefit.
Yeah, symbiosis, they live together. They both live.
Yes, I just tried to joke, but maybe for a few times you feel for some time you feel better when alien inside.
If you know about sharks, there's a small fish called a remora fish, and the shark's skin gets junk on it, and it irritates the shark. So the remora fish, they hang onto the shark and travel with it. And when the shark eats food, then the remora fish jumps off and eats the leftovers. So they kind of work together.
I've seen a picture of crocodiles that lies on the beach with open mouth, and some birds is picking food from their teeth. It's the same, I think.
Yeah. And there's if you've ever been underwater, there's big sponges called barrel sponges. And they're like a big sponge, but they look like a trash can or a barrel. And we call those cleaning stations. There's a kind of small fish that will stay around there called cleaning fish. There we go. And other fish will swim to this cleaning station, and they'll just open their mouth. And these little cleaning fish go in there and clean the food between their teeth. and then they go away.
Mhm.
So that's a kind of symbiosis.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Vasants, do you know any examples of symbiosis?
No, but I remember that what you said, like the crocodile. Yes, I have seen that many times. But I have a question about this movie because this movie has the title Alien. It's a unique title, and Hollywood has produced a lot of Alien movies before and after this franchise. So why did they name this movie Alien? What is the difference between the other Alien movies and this movie? So do you notice any specific detail or
I think
speciality?
I think Ridley Scott's feeling was that a short title that's descriptive is the best way to capture the reader's attention. So he wanted something that was short and specific about what the movie was about. So he just called it Alien.
Hmm.
So another opportunity was bloody massacre in the space.
Hmm. You know, in Spain, they said the title was Alien, but that said, in addition, they added the 8th passenger because the alien was the 8th passenger of the ship.
So they have 7 people on the boat, right?
Yes, at the beginning.
Well,
Right.
we have the same word in Russian as alien, so it was one word, and it was good enough. But usually our translators made a bad work translating movies. Usually it's I don't know how they choose it. It looks like random titles many times. Okay, so I have some pictures. I got it from IMDb. I can share it, but we can start from any questions, any lines, if we can remember anything.
Okay, something important in the plot is that this contact was foreseen, I don't know, was prepared by the computer about the company they were working with. So they wanted to get this alien because they wanted to use as some weapon, you know. So there is a relationship between the captain of the ship and the computer. I don't know if you remember it.
No,
They call the computer mother, and it's typing always. It's communicating with the computer through typing. So it looks like this contact was an improvisation. It was prepared by the company, so they could get the alien to be used as a weapon. But it's like the playing with fire. When a kid playing with fire, because this alien is very difficult to control.
Mm-hmm. How to control it if you can communicate?
Putting it in a cage, I think it did in the sequels. On the sequels, they could control it, but eventually the alien escaped.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the movie, there was an android, a robot character named Ash. And he was built by the company, and he had the company's secret directives in his head.
Mm-hmm.
So they thought they were out there to explore space and do some mining. It was a mining ship digging for ore from asteroids. But really, the company had detected this distress signal before and sent them in that direction so they would find this alien thing and bring it back and use it for a bioweapon. But the crew didn't know about that. So there was some skullduggery, some secret dealings and plots going on.
Mm-hmm. Skullduggery.
Secret plots and schemes.
And I think these two films made by Ridley Scott Alien in 1979 and Blade Runner in 1982. That very close, but they are two of the most important sci-fi movies, no doubt. I think maybe the best. From my point of view, both of them are the best.
They're kind of like cult classics.
You can watch them and always like it. You can see they are well done. They don't age, they are classics.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we can call classic movies. It's a movie that creates a new genres, a new approaches, and this one definitely creates a new one, right? We have a lot of how we call it, parodies, not parodies, but movies and
spoofs and what do we call them? Salutes or rip-offs. Yeah, like the motto or the slogan for this movie was "In space, no one can hear you scream." So a lot of movies have taken, a lot of news and things, TV shows have taken that and changed it a little bit, I don't remember how they've used it, but they use puns on that phrase. It's very famous.
I think that we had a movie Gravitation recently, and it was some slogan was kind of similar. I can't recall exactly, but it was something similar.
It was don't let go, I think. Whatever you do, don't let go.
Right. I got it like maybe it was a line, not a slogan. Sounds like there is nothing in space. There is nothing, only gravitation. Something like this. I forgot it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't let go. So it's a good advice when you meet some aliens in the space. But I was a young guy when I watched it first time, and I can remember that I was scared. And how it was very realistic. I can believe, I can trust that they exist, these aliens, and I think it's a it's a good way to warn us. Don't try to find aliens.
I thought another filming principle of Ridley Scott is he likes to not show the alien completely. He likes to keep it hidden from view and just show you little glimpses of it, but not the whole thing. So you have more to your imagination. So a lot of the scenes where the cat is killed or someone's killed, it doesn't show the actual alien much other than maybe the mouth or the saliva dripping down, but you don't see him until near the end. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, because our imagination works better than computers at that time, right? we can scare ourselves completely.
So it's like the TED Talk mystery box. Don't reveal all the information at the beginning of the movie.
Right. I forgot, but probably in the TED Talk they don't mention aliens, right? Or these movies, probably not.
I think he mentioned monsters and not revealing the whole monster until the end or something, but I can't remember either. Yeah.
But looks logical. In this famous book, which I like in 1984, right? In 1984, they use the same approach. They put you in the room and said, "You're the worst." How they call it? The worst thing that you're scared of will be there soon, and you imagine it. without being told what is that.
We call it your worst fear, your worst nightmare.
Right. So in that book, the protagonist was scared of rats, right? Gers, can you remember that?
Scared of what?
Rats. Mouse. Rats.
Yeah,
yes.
rats. Okay.
Yes, and they tried to torture him, but it doesn't work. But rats make the make the things just because it's imaginary worst fear. Yes, the same here. What else? What else about movie? I can't remember which part of the movie, but I like this android. This android, it was like a not like a Terminator, but like a living human.
Right.
And in the same time, we knew that it's a android, right? And was funny. It was new for the movies at that time.
But in the second sequel, Aliens, it appears another android, but this one is good and helps the crew. But you know, Ripley, has some prejudice against androids because of what's happened in the first part.
Yeah, in Alien, this android was evil.
Yes.
He tried to kill her, I think, right?
Yes.
And then the second movie, yeah, she didn't trust Bishop because of the first robot being evil and programmed by the company. Yeah. But Bishop turned out to be a good guy. Yeah. One thing I thought was kind of silly was they know there's aliens in the ship. And of course, like most movies, they always go someplace alone. One person goes down a dark hallway and they start getting killed one by one. So then they meet and say, how can we kill this thing? What about fire? Yeah, let's use fire. So they give a guy a flamethrower. Okay. And he goes down this long ladder and he gets to the bottom and it's dark and he can't see. And his purpose is to find the alien and kill it. And up above, they're monitoring the ship and they say, it's coming towards you. Run, run. He's going down there to kill it, but as soon as they detect it, they tell him to run away. You know, it's opposite what he's down there for with the flamethrower, you know? So I thought that was kind of silly.
Yes, but movie has not to be very logical, you know. It must be scary. when someone, you know, when the music is very anxious and someone scream, run away, it works.
Another thing that was interesting about this alien, in the old movies, up before this movie, the monsters always attacked, you know, from the side or behind you. This alien liked to climb up in ventilation ducts, and he liked to attack from above. So this alien was kind of unique in the previous monster movies because he would get above you and come down. So you weren't expecting that.
And then Bruce Willis takes these tactics, right? In the Die Hard. He started to move in these ventilations, conduits, how you call this.
Yeah. Okay, so at the end, something happens to destroy the ship, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Destroy the ship, a module or a probe, you know, goes away from the ship. So Ripley escapes with a probe, a small ship.
Yeah,
but the alien gets stuck.
Escape pod. So
escape pod, yes.
So at the end, it's just Ripley alive. So she decides to just get in the escape pod. I think she set the ship for self-destruct. That's what it was. She set the ship to self-destruct so it would blow itself up and kill the alien and protect the Earth. So she got in the escape pod and launched out, and she watched the ship blow up. And then she finds out that it's inside the escape pod with her. Right? Yeah.
So that's about right.
But the alien was very resilient. He could live in a space, which is quite
yeah,
because it's very cold.
That's another thing about this alien. Compared to other monsters, this alien he was nasty. He could live in vacuum. His blood was acid. It was strong, fast, devious,
Vicious.
vicious, ugly, and intelligent. And later we learned that it can adapt using the DNA of its host. We didn't learn that in this movie, but later we find out if it gets in a dog, it has like a dog-looking alien, and in a human, it's a human-looking alien. But it adapts to the DNA of the host to take different shapes. So I'm trying to remember, how did she kill it in the escape pod? I can't remember, Gerard.
I don't remember either. I watched the film so many times.
I know. Let's see.
But I think that actress was acting good. She wasn't like, you know, poker face and I will do that. No, she actually suffered from that situation. She actually was scared, and you can see that, you can trust it, and I like it.
So I think at the end it was her and the cat. I guess the cat lived. Her and the cat, right? Her and the cat survived. I should say she and the cat survived. I forgot the cat's name.
Not really important, I think.
And the one thing I liked about the end of the movie was the way the movie ended. Do you remember the last line of the movie?
No.
No.
The movie ended. She sent out a radio communication, or she was dictating to a diary, and she said, "This was Lieutenant Ripley, last surviving member of the Nostromo, signing off." So she signed off at the end of the movie.
Sorry, I didn't get this. So signed
off. Log in, log out, sign in, sign off. She signed off in a diary entry as Lieutenant Ripley, the last surviving member of the Nostromo.
I see. It's strange that she had this military rank. Lieutenant, why?
I guess because she was a pilot, or I think she was a pilot, so I guess it was kind of like merchant marine. In the U.S., we have the real Navy, and we have what we call the merchant marines. They're civilian ships that do shipping and containers and trade. So they're called the merchant marines. I think they have ranks also. So she was probably like a lieutenant in the civilian merchant marine navy.
I see. We have kind of the same. I think they call themselves like pilot of first rank. It's pilot for second rank, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I think it's about experience, about your trainings, or something like this. So you get in some trainings, you get some rank, you get some experience, you get another rank, and so on.
So in the company, Weyleen Yutani, she had the rank of a lieutenant as a spaceship pilot. So in the second movie, because she lost her ship at the beginning, they took away her rank. And she was just a nobody, a civilian. And then when they needed her, they said, "We'll give you back your rank as a lieutenant again. You'll be someone."
So saving the world, it's not enough to keep the rank, right?
Well, they didn't believe her. In the second movie, they're interrogating her. Why did you lose your ship, your crew? Oh, there was this monster. Where's the proof? Show us evidence. They didn't believe her. They thought she was incompetent. Well, they knew the real truth.
But it's a good line. Just imagine that someone went to you and said, I burned your car. I killed your friends. Why? Because some aliens was attacking us.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one who stayed alive. Well, you will investigate that, right? You will not trust.
What about the pictures?
Okay, let me share the pictures.
We should leave Basant the chance to speak. We forgot him.
we didn't forget, but looks like he cannot write today, right? Basant?
Jones.
In the chat.
Jones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as I understand, it's a costume. It's an actor who played the alien.
Oh, is that right? Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, I read it somewhere, but it's not written here. I don't know how to get rid of this caption on the bottom.
I think
just click on the picture.
Oh, okay. Was hard, right?
That drove me crazy too.
Okay, so it's what's happening here?
So this creature is called the face hugger. Okay, this is the embryonic form of the alien. It's called the face hugger. So it latches onto your face and puts a tube down your mouth and lays the egg inside your body. And then after it's done its function, it just falls off and dies.
I see. It's makes me recall the old game Half-Life. It's a very famous one, and they have something like that, head crabs.
Okay, is that right? All right.
Probably it's from this movie.
Okay,
and
so they couldn't get it off his head. It was holding real tight, and it had something down his throat. So they said, "How do we get this thing off?" They couldn't figure it out, and then later it just fell off, and he said, "Man, I feel great. I'm hungry. Let's eat."
So we can see a big camera here, right? And some screen, how we call this thing? Something that reflects light, I think. Some plate.
Some kind of medical equipment, I don't know.
But this picture is not from the movie. It's, this guy in the middle is Ridley Scott.
Yeah, this is like a production scene.
Yes, that's why we can see this crane on the left side, that holds the camera. Can you see that?
Yes. Okay.
I always wonder why this camera is so huge. Nowadays, it looks different. But it was 30 years ago, right? A long time. Okay, another one.
From the movie?
It's from the movie. One member feel bad, right? It's the first appearance of the alien here, I think. And we can see that the rations of cosmonauts, of astronauts, it's like on the Earth. Can you see? They must have gravitation.
Yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't the ship wasn't rotating, so it must be some kind of artificial gravity.
Maybe they just forgot about the gravity.
Nah.
Artificial gravity. Yes, because I see these open jars with something, some granules inside, and it's impossible in the space.
Right.
All these things will fly, will pollute the air.
Now the man in the middle. Oh, can you go back one slide?
Yes.
I think the man in the middle, he was the captain or the ship's commander. On the right, that guy was the robot, the android.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Ripley on the far left. And the other 2 or 3 crew members, they're just fodder to be killed one by one by the alien. Okay.
Yes, they don't look like a military command, military team, you know. They have some
not at all.
strange straps on the head and I don't know.
Headband, okay.
Headband, and the guy on the left have some Hawaiian shorts, I would say.
Looks like breakfast food, cereal, cereal bowls.
Yes, and Vasant, don't be on mute today. You know, we have a few participants. You can speak at any time. You know, it will not be mess. Okay, and it's starting.
Classic scene.
I think it's not from the movie, right? Because in the movie it was kind of dark, everything all the time.
It was pretty. It might be from the movie. It was pretty light, I think. Because that happened at dinner. That happened in the middle of their meal while they were eating. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think we can learn disgusting.
It was disgusting. Yeah. Oh God.
So what we can say? Disgusting. What else? Yuck. Да?
Yuck. Yeah. Yeah. Exclamation. We'd say yuck or ew. Okay. Disgust. Okay.
Gory.
Yeah. Gory means bloody.
Well, it's bloody enough for my taste.
Good visual effects.
But look, nowadays we have everything calculated on computers, right? But they have to build this, how we call it, mannequins, maquettes. How we call this?
Animated machines or animations. Yeah.
Animations.
Mock-ups.
Well, actually, I don't know what is that. Some machine. It looks like a human.
That wasn't in the movie, I don't think. Nobody can pick up that alien. Maybe it was jumping on him. I don't know. I don't remember that scene in the movie.
Maybe it's from another sequel.
Yeah, or a deleted scene or something.
Okay, we can see a part of alien, right? On the
He's very scared.
Yeah, she's about to die.
And look at this Rex. Look at this Rex. All the stuff just piled on this Rex. So they forget about gravity, you know. It's
yeah, they had gravity. They had gravity.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this stuff cannot be on spaceship because you have to launch it from the Earth, right? And
well, some spaceships are built in space.
I see.
And they launch from space. So you use a rocket to take people up to the ship, but it's already in space built, so it just leaves. So it's not like a rocket that everything's got to be tied down when it takes off.
I see. Yeah. And I can read oxygen on the top, and I see how we call this conduit, right?
Yep, could be conduits. Yep, conduit pipes. Yeah.
How we call this form? Gofret or something like this. When it's like a snake, I can describe it like from the rings. Consists from the rings, from the small rings.
Small links.
I describe it badly. I mean, some pipes you can
corrugated.
Right, corrugated.
You can think of them as corrugated. Conduit looks like that. I don't know why. Probably so you can bend it and make it shape it. Corrugated's a good, good word.
Okay. Phew, what is that? Looks like
the alien spaceship.
right.
The X.
Many X. Okay. And what is the road? What is that? Looks like a train.
Yeah. And
I
a
don't
laser.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I guess just probably conduits for cables and ventilation ducts and things. I don't know.
It definitely looks like a place where I never go in.
Right.
Yes, the spaceship was scary.
Right.
Yeah.
So the team of spaceship, they learning something from the monitor. Maybe it's this scene, what you describe it. The guy with flamethrower somewhere, they try to...
No, that's him in the center. I think maybe here they're looking at the camera of the man in front of the eggs.
I see.
Maybe I think they're on the ship and he's looking and they're looking at what he's seeing, going, "What is that?" You know.
And can you see this ventilation fan on the top?
I guess that's a ventilation fan. Yeah, I guess. It's awful close to her head, though.
Right. It was my point, you know. She want to be scared of it because she has long hair, and this fan is very close.
Yeah, don't jump up. Yeah.
Okay, another one. Almost the same. On the table, some fancy station. What is it? Radio station, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Just equipment.
Is this maybe the flamethrower?
Might be. I can't tell. Might be. Yeah, might be. Something I think maybe they put it together. They built it from pieces, I think, because they didn't have a flamethrower. So I think the black guy built it from pieces.
Okay, anything else? It's how we call the suit? I forgot.
Just space suit.
Space suit. Okay.
Space helmet.
And for diving, it's a diving suit, right?
Yeah.
I see. I think we have words for that in Russian.
You can say heavy gloves, clunky, clumsy. So this is a production shot. I think it's a production shot. That's not a crew member. Is that Ridley Scott, Gerard?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Wow. So one egg is opening.
I think
this is the moment.
I think this actor is John Hart.
And look on his shoulders. It's fancy, right? I can see some. What is it? Buttons or some? I don't know.
I guess it's armor. I don't know. It doesn't look like a spacesuit to me, but maybe some kind of armor to protect you from a harsh environment, so your suit doesn't get cut open.
Well, very, very fancy for such an old movie. Okay, we can see that behind the teacher Lee. Behind teacher Lee.
Yeah.
Okay,
this is Ripley.
Ripley, right? With strange weapon.
A flamethrower.
So on the bottom it's a fuel tank, right?
Yeah.
Looks like gas. Yeah, fuel tank and weapon.
Weapon with a fuel tank. They use gas or petrol or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Good design for a monitor.
Okay. Yeah. Ugly monitor.
And I can read on it emergency Samsung. Emergency. So it's maybe like on the ships we have a black box. On the planes we have a black box. So some devices that can bear any collisions and so on. Looks like that. It has a how you call this thing on the top of the monitor. So it's like suitcase have.
Yeah, just a handle. Yeah.
Handle.
Mm-hmm.
One.
It looks like it's pretty heavy, so if you have to do any work on it, you need to lift 100 pounds.
Okay, another photo with STEM. We can read deck 6 on the top. A lot of conduits. I think that designer like it conduits. They're everywhere, pipes, conduits. And fancy ladder, how you call it?
Yeah, ladder, yeah.
Ladder.
Got a flashlight.
Teacher Lee, what's the difference between aisle and corridor?
Aisle is not, we don't use aisle inside a ship. An aisle is a walkway between shelves, rows of shelves, or rows of seats. We use aisle for movie theaters, grocery stores, and a wedding. Otherwise, we always say corridor or hallway.
And what about a bus or a plane?
We call that the aisle. On a plane, we call it the aisle because it's between rows of seats.
Okay, I understand.
If it's between rows of seats, we call it an aisle, but you don't have that on a spaceship.
So that would be a corridor?
Right. If it's a walkway between rooms, we call it a hallway or a corridor. Same thing.
Okay.
But I think it's a deck. It's even written here.
The deck is the floor, okay? When you're on a ship or a plane, the floor is called the deck. The lower deck, the upper deck. Okay.
I see.
So if you go up to deck 6. So I guess they're on deck 5. If you go down the ladder, you might go to deck 4.
So the guy in the center has some network in his hand, right?
Just net.
Just net. Okay.
Kind of like a fishing net, animal net.
So it's for animal. It's for alien, right?
Yeah. He'll tear that like toilet paper.
Good try. Okay. And
did you notice that in these alien movies, in those ships, there are always details like, vintage things, like, bubbles, lights, the old bubble lights. And some of them, they appear the old bubble lights, with a tungsten thread.
Yeah.
How do you call that?
We call those incandescent lights.
Yes, incandescent lights.
That's the original kind with the tungsten element. Yeah.
Tungsten.
So tungsten, it's a small metal wire inside, right?
It's an element. It's a kind of metal.
I see. Well, I think that in some recent years in Russia, it was these lights was prohibited.
Yes.
So,
Really?
Now you can see diode, how you call it, diode lights, collagen lights, but not this old one.
Right. Now we have fluorescent lights came after that, and then halogen or LED lights.
I see. Scared woman on the picture. But I think in her place, I would die just from heart attack without being scared. It's an android, right?
No.
No, that's not the android.
Okay, I missed it.
He's just fodder. He's just in the movie so he can die.
I see.
We sometimes say cannon fodder.
You know that black guys always complain that in the sci-fi movies they die at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And they are fodder.
Yeah, that's right. Fodder's like animal fertilizer. It's just there for other things to eat.
Speaking about cannon fodder and Star Trek, I just recalled the joke from Star Trek, not from Star Trek, about Star Trek. In this series, The Big Bang, they say that in Star Trek they have two colors of costumes, and red shirts always die.
Right, the security guards, yeah, because you can't kill the stars, so they always take security guards with them, and they wear red shirts, and they always die. We say, "Oh, he's a red shirt." Yep, they're just fodder, right?
Okay. Vasans, can you speak? Are you with us? I see that.
Yes,
Speak
yes.
out.
Because I'm using my mobile, so I do not type T on the chat. So.
Yes. So don't be on mute. Just speak when you want to. So how we will describe this alien? It's a back. What's wrong with his nose?
He has an inner jaw that can protrude outside his outer jaw. So he's got an outer jaw and an inner jaw. So he can shoot out that inner jaw, I guess, to eat small pieces. So that was another unique feature of an alien back in that time, was this inner jaw that can shoot out and, whoa, what was that?
Yes. Very nice invention. Very scary.
Yeah. And we call this design the banana head alien.
Banana head. Yes, looks like banana.
He was the first alien to have a long, instead of a big head this way, it was long like a banana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But still has arms, still has legs.
And a tail, yeah.
And a tail. almost a human.
And
Not a snake.
And it has some kind of back spines that stick out like pipes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like dinosaurs has had.
Yeah. I don't know what those are. And no eyes. It had no eyes. So it was kind of weird.
Okay. Let me find something new. Again, this costume. This suit costume. Okay. Well, it's a ship, right?
I guess so. Hard to say, yeah.
The Nostromo.
Maybe it's in orbit over the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Strange spheres, semi-spheres, right?
Did you remember? Do you remember the music? I think it was very good. The music was very intriguing.
Okay.
And
intriguing music. I can't remember. Okay. All right.
Okay,
that was we call him the pilot in the alien ship that they found.
Mm-hmm.
Now they call an exoskeleton, Ivan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's like the spacesuit, and the aliens in the not the alien, but another alien is inside that spacesuit. So that's just an exoskeleton for this pilot of another race that found these eggs.
Well. Alien again. He has a spacesuit also, right? Or not?
Who's that? The pilot?
This guy, alien.
No,
Oh, that's the alien. No, no spacesuit. He's just
doesn't need.
he's tough. Absolute zero, no problem for him. Breathe a vacuum, no problem.
Cold.
He was tough.
Okay, it started. Wow.
That's
Ugh.
gory.
Oh, yuck. Okay, that's the robot's head. That's their cryopods or sleeping pods or suspended animation pods.
And they were woken up because of this signal, right?
Distress signal.
Yeah, the signal woke them up, I guess.
But everything was prepared by Ash.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, but I have to leave.
Yes, I think we finished here. Thank you very much, Gerard.
As usual.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Okay.
Was funny. I recorded this movie very very vividly because of these pictures.
Die Hard's probably another one that we could talk about quickly if you need a fast movie.
Right. Die Hard happened on the New Year Eve, right? Something like this.
Yeah, I think so. There was a Christmas party. Yeah.
Christmas party, and that's why this movie is shown each New Year in Russia.
Oh, is that right?
It's like a New Year movie on the TV. So I watch it every year, and I can, recite it.